Hello guys, and welcome back to another cold episode. On today's episode, I tried to play Darklords once again, and this is the list that I came up with. In all honesty, I was trying my hardest to figure out a way to best incorporate Darklords, or just kind of see what the best engine slash deck slash way to play them would be. And this is ultimately what I ended up coming up with. So I'm going to quickly explain the thought process, and we'll do the card by card real quick like. If you don't know, Darklords are an archetype centered around sending cards to the graveyard and then reborning them with specifically Contact. They have a big boss monster in the first Darklord, which has the ability to bring back monsters similar to Contact, as well as has technically an ability to destroy all cards your opponent controls. He also makes all of your fairies non-targetable, which is great. This pairs very well with Despia, who also want to fusion summon and have the ability to go into high-level fusion monsters with something like a Theater of the Branded, as well as just being dark fairies themselves, are also materials for the first Darklord. Cool. The problem arises with each individual Darklord card being so underwhelming. Ixchel is probably the only good one that out of all of them, and it is because it is just a draw 2. You discard this card and a Darklord card to draw 2. Fine. Cool. However, there isn't really much consistency outside of Ixchel, so there's that. Yeah. Some of the other effects are like Nastin pitches 2 to special summon itself. Superbia can bring back a fairy if it is special summoned, or sorry, when it's special summoned. Indulge can special summon a monster to your opponent's side of the field to add one to your hand on normal or special. But then it locks you into fairies. Amdusk can add back from the grave. And Tez can protect your monsters. We also have Nurgle, which is able to deal piercing battle damage. Now, all of the high-level monsters, besides Superbia, also have the ability to quick effect, pay 1,000 life points, target a Darklord spell trap in the grave, and apply its effects, then shuffle it into the grave. Alongside something like Banishment, Contact, or any of the myriad of trap cards, this means that you have the ability to, in theory, get multiple points of, or multiple cards and their effect activations multiple turns. Or multiple times per turn. So, for example, Banishment is just a search card. You add any Darklord card from your deck to your hand, and if you were to then special summon it or have a Darklord on your side of the field, you could then use its effect again to get a second search. In theory, very strong. In practice, you're not really searching for anything all that great. Now, their traps are pretty good. The effects are all pretty good. This one steals, this one negates, non-targeting, and this one fusion summons at quick effect speed, which is very nice. So all things considered, they are good effects, all non-targeting. The problem is, again, the first part of it, that being the cost. Yeah, they have to send a Darklord monster from either hand or face of field to the graveyard in order to activate the effects. Now, in theory, you could also just target them and have their effects without paying the cost with your Darklord monsters, but that is still an issue. So, how do we remedy this? We don't. We just high roll and hope that it works. So that's why we're playing Grass and 60 cards. Also, I couldn't really cut anything, and as you can see, we're still not playing like everything that I realistically would want to, but alas, here we are. We're not playing the branded stuff because it doesn't really help to get the Darklord half of the engine, and we'd just then be playing like Grass branded. So I cut that, and we're playing more Darklord reliant stuff to go into first Darklord, and that'd be our big win condition. So here we are going into the card by card. We're playing lots of hand traps because, well, more specifically, lots of outs to Maxi because we can't deal with that card. We're playing the double Gamma as well as the one driver, triple Ash Blossom, triple Maxi, and the double Called By. We're also playing a whole bunch of other tech cards as well in here. Most notably, the Bystials, one apiece of each of the Bystials, except for the Lubellion. As for the Darklords, we're playing 2 Indulged, 1 Ukobak, the double Amdusk, the 1 Nastin, the 1 Nurgle, the double Tez, triple Ixchel, double Superbia, and the 1 Morningstar. As well as the spells, we have the triple Banishment and triple Contact, the one apiece of Enchantment, Sanctified, and Uprising for the traps. As for the Despia monsters, we're only playing 2 Tragedy, 2 Aluber, and the 1 apiece of Dramaturg and Ad Libitum. And for the last monster, we have ourselves Archlord Christia, which is technically a Floodgate that we can also special summon off of first Darklord, which is pretty nice. Moving on, we have ourselves, for the spells, we have triple Pot of Desires, we have ourselves as well the double Grass, we have double Theater of the Branded, we have a double Branded Opening, double Branded in Red, and of course, triple Super Polymerization. Super Polymerization is very strong, so why not? Now, again, I could play less cards, but I would have to cut like hand traps, or I would have to cut like Bestials or stuff like that, which are still very good. So you could just play like all engine pieces and cut grass, which would be better, but I decided, hey, we'll play grass. There isn't really anything too great that we can grass and then like activate, but you know, hey, it puts cards into the graveyard, which could be valuable, so there you go. Moving on to the extra deck, we have ourselves the 1 Garura, the 1 Starving Venom, the 1 Dragostapelia for super poly targets. We also have the Queritus, or Queritus. We have the double Masquerade. We have 1 Guardian Chimera and double First Darklord for the fusions. As for the Link monsters, we're playing double Condemned Darklord, the 1 IP Masquerena, the 1 Unicorn, the 1 Apollosa, and the 1 Underworld Goddess. So that's it for the deck. Let's hop into the replays and show you how this deck performs. Alright, so here we are going second, and hey, that's actually a pretty decent hand. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that I don't actually know how good this this deck list is. I don't know if it's the best version, if there's other cards that I should be playing realistically. This is just kind of what I threw together and was like, in theory, this should work. Anyway, my opponent is going to go for Age of Rhyme here, which is very funny. And they're going to pass on that with their Ice Jade. Our Gamma literally didn't do anything, so let's see if it does anything here. We're going to start off with the Pot of Desires. We're going to banish 10 and draw 2. And my opponent is going to go for the Ash, to the which we will go for the Gamma. They're going to activate their Iderain, and then we are going to go and grab up the Aluber. Aluber, normal summon, grab up a Theater. We're going to go for the Theater. We're going to fusion summon into the Queritus. Then it's going to, we're going to chain the Queritus to the summon of the Dramaturg so that it's on the field, and then we can go for the Super Polymerization. Look, our goal is to high roll. This is how we high roll. We go for the Super Polymerization, we deal lethal damage. There you go. Cool. Did we play Darklords? Not at all. Alas, high roll. Sometimes that's just how it works. Alright, so here we are going first, and hey, look at that, it's Pot of Desires. If this Pot of Desires doesn't, or gets stopped, that's probably the end of the game. Hey, it didn't. Fantastic. We're going to go for Banishment of the Darklord. We're going to grab that Eggshell. Eggshell effect is going to send the trap and itself, and we're going to draw into Aluber. Fantastic. That's literally the best one. We're then going to go for the Contact here to grab up the Eggshell. Eggshell is then going to search out the Tez for additional protection. We're then going to fusion summon off our 3 Dark Fairies to go for first Darklord, activate the effect of the Dramaturg, bringing it back onto the field, and then activate the effect of the first Darklord to special summon Christia. So now, this is where Christia is good, because now we can lock our opponent out of special summoning, as well as ourselves. But yeah, they're now no longer going to be able to special summon. We do have the Branded in red as well, and my opponent will immediately go to battle phase and go for the evenly matched. Sure, no, that's fine. Anyway, we're gonna bring back another monster with the Eggshell, and then they are going to normal summon the Aluber, to which we will negate. And yeah, cool. They're gonna pass the turn. Turn will pass it back to us. We're going to draw for turn. We're going to grab up Banishment. We are going to special summon out to the Aluber. Aluber is then going to grab Banded Opening, because guess what? I have already banished face down. I believe both of my field spells. So, oops. Anyway, we're going to grab the Eggshell here. I'm going to then activate the effect of the Eggshell in order to draw another card, or add another card. We're going to grab the Superbia. We're then going to go for the draw 2. And hey, Super Polymerization is now lethal. So we're going to go and attack in for a bunch of damage. We're going to activate the Branded Opening. We're going to grab Tragedy. Then we're going to go for the Super Polymerization for 1, 2, 3 Dark Fairies on the field, allowing us to go for the first Darklord number 2 and attack in for lethal. That's the game plan. Yay. Alright, so here we are going second once again, and we drew Gamma. Yay. They're going to go for Pot of Extravagance, and then they are going to reveal that they are on Unexplored Winds. Great. We're going to go we're going to negate the Robina with our Gamma here, and that is the end of the turn. Fantastic. Well, let's hope that we can do anything here, and hey, Contact is pretty good. We're going to start off with Pot of Desires. We're going to draw 2. we draw into Superbia, which is kind of funny. Then we're going to go for the pitching of Dramaturg and go for the Aluber. We're going to grab up the Dramaturg, and then we are also going to grab up the Theater. And then we're going to activate the Theater, and we're going to activate its effect in order to fusion summon into the first Darklord. We're going to activate the effect of the Dramaturg, to which they will DD Crow, and I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Now we can go and normal summon the Ukobak. Ukobak then allows us to go for the highest attack point, which technically is the Tez, but I send Nurgle here. Because we can summon it back with Superbia. So we're going to go Superbia, special summon in defense, then Superbia, special summon out the Nurgle into attack position, special summon out the Jerusalem and OTK our opponent, because that is how this works. We just OTK really efficiently, and that's ultimately what we want. So we're back with the deck, and in all honesty, I do not know how to make Darklords competitive, or at the very least, like, not just a draw engine with, like, Ixchel. I don't know what all I could cut to also not make it 60 cards. I guess I could cut, like, a bunch of the hand traps, and I could cut the Bystials, and I could cut stuff like that, you know? But alas, like, I need outs to Maxi, I need outs to Ash Blossom, I need these counters to these cards that are just very problematic. And you could just be like, oh, just ignore it. It's like, great, that doesn't really work in a, you know, in a, if you're trying to climb, it doesn't really work, right? And all of these games were played in Master Tier, and they just weren't good. Like, those 3 replays, which weren't great replays, were the best 3 games that I probably got that entire time. They're just, people are, it's just not been good. I don't know. Darklords have such massive issues right now, mostly inconsistency issues, where it's like, if you get Ash, you just kind of die. So, like, having to deal with the Ash is very problematic. Like, if they Ash basically anything, you're just kind of dead. I was even playing additional, like, draw cards with, like, Pot of Desires to kind of bait out the Ash Blossom and stuff like that. And it still just didn't matter because, hey, even if I do bait out the Ash or something like that, I still just died to it if, you know, because I still need Pot of Desires to resolve, right? I did see Gamma a couple of times, which was nice. I don't know. I'm sure I could do this better. I'm sure I could make a better deck than this. But I was trying to make as competitive of a deck for Darklord so that I could climb with it. That's just not really feasible. If you want to make a competitive Darklord deck, you put in like 4 Darklord cards. It's literally just Ixchel, Banishment, and maybe Contact. And then you just play like Branded. But alas, here we are. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. I hope that you guys did indeed enjoy it. If you did, I like it very much, so appreciate it. And if you want to check out more content like this, as well as more Yu-Gi-Oh!, then just be sure to subscribe. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye-bye. Shout out to the Frost Guard, my members. Thank you guys so much for the support, and I hope you enjoy the content.